Madhav, we know Anandji Dosa as probably Don Bradman among the statisticians, because now to be a statistician it has become really much easier because of internet, because of computer. But in those days it was very difficult, and Vijay Merchant used to ask him question, any kind of question, and he used to answer in a jiffy, and he was always right, I thought. But how good he was as a batsman or as a cricketer?
Firstly, I think he was a walkie-talkie encyclopedia on the game
Absolutely,
of
yes.
statistics or game of cricket. He was an extremely competent batsman. He was a terrific fielder and also wicket keeper. In fact, he should have played as a wicket keeper for Bombay. And I'm told that Hinderikar opted out, and Anandji should have played, I think it was outside Bombay, one of the tours in UP or somewhere. But Hinderikar suggested to the selectors that Madhav Mantri was also a wicket keeper and maybe he could be thought of. In spite of his exams, etc., I think ultimately Madhav Mantri went with the team, and he got preference over Anandji Bhai, and that's why Anandji Bhai did not play for Bombay as a wicketkeeper. Otherwise, he should have played for that. But as a batsman, he was extremely competent. In fact, one of the stories, one of the incidents in the Kanga League that I can certainly narrate. The other person involved in that match is present, Viren Shah. We were playing against Fort Vijay Club, which was Vijay Merchant's club as it were. And we needed 7 runs to win and 2 balls to go. Gundibal Sundaram, J.R. Sundaram was bowling from the Tata pavilion end. And Anandji Bhai was facing him. 5th ball of the over, and that was going to be the last over of the. Anandji Bhai lifted him over the Fort Vijay tent onto this road for a 6. So that became a tie. And Viren Shah was his partner at the non-striking end. So he went up to him, said to him that we were 9 down, we were 8 down, not 9 down. So there was one person, I think Vithalbhai Zaveri was going to be in the team. So he said we could not lose the game anyway. So he told Viren that as soon as the bowler starts his run up, we will cross over because he will bowl wide, etc. And that's what they did, and we won the game. Viren was part
I think Anandji tells that story here again.
Yes.
So let us go first.
Yes.
So this is the school where you started. So it started around
In fact, one of the questions which we asked Vasan Bhai as well as Anandji Bhai.
Anandji Bhai was with New Era School.
Yeah,
I was with Fellowship, and both the schools were located on the Goalia tank.
historic place.
Anandji Bhai, myself, and dear friend Jaswant Thakkar. Unfortunately, he is no more with us. And 3 of us were very good friends. And one day we sort of discussed that we play for our various clubs during the cricket season, but we miss cricket during off-season. So why not start a club when we play off-season also? So that's the foundation stone was laid for Jolly.
So this is how the club started 75 years ago.
Yes. In fact, one of the questions which I asked with Vasan Bhai as well as Anandji Bhai, who thought of the name Jolly Cricketers?
Yeah.
Vasan Bhai said that he does not remember. Anandji Bhai said maybe it was a collective decision. But probably I think it was Anandji Bhai who suggested that the club be called Jolly Cricketers. And I think whoever that we have met since then, everyone has confirmed that it's the most befitting kind of a club name that the club could have, because they are truly jolly cricketers. That's the way we played.
And that is what also the opponents thought, that would come further. Let us go further.
Of course, Anandji was the heart and soul of the whole show. I mean, he was the baggage man, he was the secretary, he was the treasurer, he was the accountant, whatever. He played 100 roles which a club would require. And without him, I don't think the club would have survived.
He was a historian, the scorer, the player, everything, yes. Yes, yes.
Anandji was good enough and a good fielder also. Apart from batting, he was a good fielder. That's why even the Bombay 14, he used to be there in Bombay 14.
In fact, Madhav Rao, as you said, replaced him, and he's paying a tribute to him.
That's right.
Yeah. Sunil, we should go further and discuss about it.
Spirit in which the players played. I mean, harmony, friendship, and good natured leg pulling also, but we all were so close to each other, and there was no jealousy, no backbiting, and I would say the team spirit was excellent. And there were no elections either. Everybody sort of, Anandji said, you come on the committee, because Anandji, we had full faith in him, and he was the man behind the whole show, I think. The most important thing is that all jolly cricketers are good friends. The spirit in which they play, that is more important than winning and losing, and I think for developing the club.
Well, I think it was Anandji Dosa who roped me into becoming a member of Jollies. And the thing I vividly remember about jolly cricketers that we were a jolly lot. We were good friends, we loved cricket, played hard, but at the same time there was never any politics or differences of opinion. We used to laugh at each other's mistakes. And I remember when Vittal Javeri, who used to open the bowling with me, we were playing on opposite sides in some match or the other, and he got me caught by Uday Merchant in the slips, and he roared with laughter. At last I got you. So it was a happy team. I think Jolly Cricketers is a very apt name. We were all friends and we were all jolly. Drop catches were joy when one's friend dropped the catches. We roar with laughter.
Jolly was a jolly lot, let me be very honest right from the beginning. But I never felt that I am playing a match. It was so, the spirit was so jolly all the time. As if we are having a get together, you know. Yes. And there was no atmosphere that this is a tournament we are playing. And for me it was so easy because I was brought in to your club by Jimmy Dwarkanath. Then I said, why not Mana? Because Mana had given up in the meantime. So I went to Mana's house, I said, no, you will have to play. I am playing, why don't you play? So he came and played. So all those three of us who played together for Mumbai came back to play for Jolly again. I feel very sorry that I came and joined your club very late. Perhaps I would have enjoyed more cricket with you.
True, I think anybody who played cricket in the right spirit of the game, and I would like to say this publicly, that in my playing days, I would think that almost all the clubs played the game in the way it should be played. we have some distinguished fellow cricketers. Papan is here. He is an umpire. He played cricket for Sindh Hindus. Then Hoshang Dadachandji is there, who also played for Parsi Sakis. There are many of, and I think all of us played hard. Kanga League was a championship to be title to be won, but nobody would take any unfair advantage or play something which was not cricket. I think the expression that it is not cricket had relevance then. I'm not so sure that it is so today.
The times have changed, cricket has changed, you can say.
I don't know what has changed and whether this needed to be changed, because this cricket, why is the expression it's not cricket? Unlike it's not hockey or it's not football. Because basically it was meant to be a gentleman's game, to be played in a gentlemanly fashion.
And somebody said that there was no politics also. You are lucky that there were no politicians in your managing committee. That was also one of the big things.
No.
Let us go further.
Yeah.
Generations were involved. I think your father played for Jolly. My father was not an active cricketer. But I know of friends, some of them unfortunately no longer with us, whose fathers used to play for Jolly. I think Vijay Merchant's brother played for Jolly, and there were a number of such people. I have a dream. Supposing you are on the last over of the match, and one run is left for the opponents to win. The ball is hit to a Jolly cricketer. He picks it up. In the meantime, the runner falls down. What would a Jolly cricketer do? I think he would at least hesitate before throwing the ball to run out. That, to me, was the essence of Jolly cricketers.
Fantastic.
Cricket, for the sake of winning and losing, of course important, but the game above all.
I have always very happy and good memory of Jolly, whenever our matches against Jolly cricketers, as I saw, right over a period of time and all that sort of thing, good old days, that they were a little different than others. But the difference between the other team, they used to come all keyed up and all that sort of thing. You know, they are Jolly name absolutely appropriate, you see. Jollies, of course, wanted to win, otherwise they wouldn't have become champions. They also wanted to win, but main thing was they enjoyed their game. So they enjoyed playing, and at the same time, those who were watching also were enjoying it. So that is one thing. So that is a peculiarity of Jolly cricketers. You don't find it to any other team. At the end of the day, all were happy going on, whether they won, lost, and all that sort of a thing. And in spite of that sort of a thing, they became champions. Kanga League champions, becoming Kanga League champions is not an easy job.
Madhav, how is it that Vasu Paranjape, such a jolly cricketer, never played for Jolly?
Vasu, you answer for.
Because he's not sure about hitting the stuff. That's nothing to do with sportsmanship.
Vasu, if I may say, that is the Dada Union point of view.
We played, when losing to Jolly, what hurt me most was that they were Jolly and they still beat us.
That is why, right.
Because Dada Union was known for the discipline and everything.
Yeah. In fact, some of the games over the years, Kanga League, I had the privilege of playing for 55 years without a break. But some of the games that do come to one's mind. One, of course, we narrated about Anand Dosa hitting the second. But I think Vasant Bhai has another couple of memories of games, key games, Vasant Bhai, that we played and we won. I think one was at Shivaji Park Gymkhana, where we needed about 30 odd runs to win, and with only 2 or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 overs to go. Vasant Bhai, do you remember that game? And you asked Uday Bhai and Madan Bhai to open the batting, and they got the runs. Vasant Bhai, do you remember that game?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have got some interesting games also further. We'll just go further.
The basic difference that time, Madhav, was most of the Pune clubs were playing on choir matting. That time, including our college, SP College. Yeah. So difference was that. When we came to Mumbai, we found it rather difficult to adopt to turf. It was not so difficult because then Pune also had PYC, then Deccan Gymkhana and Wadia College. So we had some sort of a exposure to the turf, but not regularly. So that was the basic difference for any Puneite coming here for the first season. I would say Pune wickets were rather more dangerous than Bombay, as far as Gangali wickets in Bombay was concerned. Real sticky dogs. And in Mumbai, I never, came across a sticky dog. Though we played absolutely in monsoon. If you remember, we used to play cricket, especially if Mamsa is your umpire, you had to play in bloody mud. Absolutely. Yeah, he would never give up.
But I enjoyed it. And I think one of the proudest memories I have was getting Vijay Merchant's wicket on a very wet wicket. And I was bowling from one end and somehow Vijay gave a catch to short leg and walked off. I said, my God, I got India's best batsman out. It was a happy feeling.
Most of the tournaments I played, again, Jolly was only on wet wickets. Because when I first started playing, there was no Kanga League. There was the local cricket. So Purushottam Shield was only for Hindu clubs. And they used to play during June onward, July to all that, during that meeting. They used to get wet wickets and all that. So for wet wickets, Jolly had a very ideal bowler, Joban Putra. And apart from although he was a very accurate bowler and all that, and very wicket-taking bowler, smiling, everybody smiling. We are not tough and all that. You find other good bowlers and all that, they are very keen and that, but he was very smiling. Right from the moment he entered the field, he was smiling until he left.
Madhav, we have heard that how good was Dadar Union as an opponent, because Madhav, we have heard, he was one of the finest captains.
In fact, Dadar Union team, obviously they won the championship several times, so obviously they had to be good. They were an extremely tough opponents, headed by, of course, Madhav Mantri, who I do reckon was one of the best captains that, in Bombay at least, his field placing was, his bowling changes, his reading of the game was extremely tight. I think the only shortcoming, if I have to say this honestly, was his temperament, his temper, not temperament, temper. Sometimes he would lose his temper with the players. But since we are talking about good captains, the other extremely good captain that I had the good fortune of playing under was Vasant Raiji. I think one of the, because many captains can be extremely pedestrian, but to think out of the ordinary, to take a chance, and do something different, which ultimately results justify. I think that was his style of captaincy.
Now, Madhav, let us go to some interesting matches that Jolly had.
not a big cricketer or a great cricketer, but I do remember a Saturday match, and the Saturday matches of jolly cricketers were the height of things. And I remember having scored 50 runs and taken 10 wickets in a match. Azad Maidan.
We were playing Dadar Shivaji Park, Gymkhana, and we had just 3 overs left to get some 30 odd runs or so. And if we got those runs, we got 5 points. Otherwise, we shared 1.8. We put Uday Merchant and Madan Raiji, my brother, to open the innings. And in 3 overs, they got the runs. We needed 7 runs to win, and the last 2 balls. So 5th ball, Anandji hit for a 6 of the 5th ball. Then he conferred with the non-striker Viren Shah that as soon as the bowler's arm goes up, you just run. Don't care whether the ball is hit or not hit. You just run. And without seeing the ball, they just ran and got that last run.
Because we reached about it was the last about 1 wicket.
Yes.
So when I hit sixer of the Sundaram,
Yes.
fast bowler, India's fast bowler. So on the 5th ball, it struck me I should take full risk, whatever it be. So I did that. I just tried my best. I do not know how it came to, but it contacted the ball and ball went over the Fort Vijay tent.
That's right. Yes.
And then there was 1 ball more to go. And Vittal Bhai was still in the pavilion as the last man.
Yes.
So he said, even if I lose, we will not lose the match. So I told VP Shah, you run any happens. And Sundaram was bowling, so wicketkeeper was far behind. So we took that 1 run. And Sundaram also, instead of bowling to the wicket, because he sixer was hit, so he bowled outside.
Yes.
Parsi Gymkhana we were playing, and we required 15 runs to win, and it was the last over before lunch. And there were so dark and clouds all over, so I was batting with Madan, my brother. So I went up to Madan and I said, look, if we don't get these 6 runs in this over, it's going to pour and the match will be drawn, we'll get only 1 point. If we want the maximum points, we have to get the 16 runs in this over. So just have a go. So we both had a go at the bowling. I think there was a left-hander, I forget his name, who the bowler was. He was a slow bowler, left-hander. So we hit 4 fours in that 1 over and we won that match. These are the matches I still remember.
Playing against Matunga Gymkhana, on Matunga Gymkhana ground. They had scored about 220 runs, Matunga Gymkhana, and we were about 220, about 220. So I tried to lift that ball. I say, if I get 1 run, I will win. So I hit that in and I was caught. But actually what had happened, the scoreboard had shown 221 instead of 220.
Okay.
So it misguided me.
Okay, right. Okay.
But now it happens.
Yeah.
And then Vasant Raji said, he went and saw the scorebooks. He said, no, Anandi, we have lost. It's all in the game.
Okay, that's right.
It was very nice of Vasant.
And now I would like to have opponent's view actually. So I'd request Vasu Paranjape to come over here.
Just one. Since you're talking about Matunga Gymkhana,
Yeah.
just one incident. I think some of us would be present here. This was the year Ashok Mankad was captaining Jolly. And why I'm narrating this, because it is, I think, probably the only unusual incident that has happened in the history of Kanga League. Last game of the tournament, Jolly were 29 points. We were playing New Hind at Matunga on that ground. And CCI was playing Hindu Gymkhana. Vijay Manjrekar was playing for Hindu Gymkhana. CCI, I think Raj Singh was captaining. CCI and Hindu Gymkhana both had 28 points each. Unknown to us, it seems they arrived at a kind of a pact that the only way, because we were expected to win against New Hind, so we would have gone to 32. And by simple first innings win, they could not reach 32, they would be 31. Which we did not know. Around tea time, at the Matunga Gymkhana ground, Vinu Mankad arrives in his car and in his flowery Jamnagari language abuses all of us and says, "You idiots, you're wasting your time. Do you know what is being cooked there?" And he narrated that what the Hindu Gymkhana and CCI had done. What they did was, to get 5 points, you had to do one win on the second innings. So technically, each side batted 1 over, declared. So one innings was complete, and then they started a fresh inning. So whatever the result at the end of the game, one of them would get 5 points and they would beat us to it. Now when we came to know about it, it was New Hind, because we had won on the first innings. New Hind captain, I think it was Gopal Kohli, if I remember. Temkar. He insisted that no, we will play the second innings because it's unfair to be deprived of championship. So we played the second innings and obviously they threw their wickets away and we won the championship that year. But this is the only unusual incident where...
So match fixing existed at that time?
Yes, you can say that again. Right.
Now I request Vasu to cover. Vasu.
I think just one more point, like the other union, another club that played cricket hard and very tough opponents was Parsi Cyclists. I think Hosheng Dadachandji's Nari also played for Parsi Cyclists, if I remember right.
Of course he did.
Yes. So they were also another tough club to beat.
I have one question for Nari contractor.
That why don't we see nowadays many Parsi cricketers around? During your times we had
Lots of Parsi cricketers. Sore throat?
I mean, only the Parsi boys can answer that.
But you're one of the...
No, they are just not coming on the field.
They are not coming on the field.
busy elsewhere.
Obviously.
Vasu, as an opponent, how would you look at Jolly cricketers?
Well, it was a great pleasure playing against them. Well, they were probably one of the teams that beat Dadurnan on quite a few occasions. And like I said earlier, it was the hurt was in being beaten by a Jolly, and in fact a Jolly team. But while we talked about Hoshang was here, I wanted to narrate one story of Vinumankat, because Hoshang is here, Patankar is here, and Nari is also here. All three of them were involved in that game. You know, Vinu was bowling to Hoshang, and Hoshang sneaked the ball to Patankar behind the wickets, and Patankar promptly dropped it. You know, such was the confidence of the man. So he said, "Don't worry, bija be ball ma pacho apse." And after 2 balls, he was caught me. You know, this story to say that this is not a bluff. You know, there was one match against the Commonwealth side at the CCI, and Avinath Desai was fielding at mid-off, and a player called Desmond Barrick was batting at the CCI, at the pavilion, at the Churchgate end, and Vinubai was bowling to him. He bowled one of his great flighted deliveries, and Barrick came and drove straight to Avinath Desai at mid-off, who promptly dropped it. He said, he was walking back to the run-up, he said, "Bito nahi pacho aapse." And he gave. And after 2 balls, he was caught again. You know, such was the mastery over the ball. You know, that's what I said, that Vinubai was a magician. Actually, I used to practice with them. It was worthwhile learning things. Of course, I couldn't. That's another matter. But some of the things that, you know, that he did with the ball, he used to keep the hand like this and ball in the middle of the palm, and he used to bowl that ball. invariably it used to be Arvind Apte playing that ball and I'm getting beaten to it.
But talking about that, I think Arvind will narrate. One season, Jolly was in the threat of going down to the B division. And it was Vinu Bankad, Vinubhai, who came to rescue. And I think it was Arvind who met him in CC and said, Vinubhai, you've got to play for Jolly, otherwise we'll go down to B division. And I think maybe Arvind can narrate.
He was a king here. I tell you, Vinubhai, practicing with him and talking to him was a lesson. Every single day there was something else that he told you here. And he was talking about Sundar. We were playing a guy, another similar. Sundar was in very sorry plight. It was the last match. And we were playing against Sundar and we had scored 81. And the wicket was nasty and Narayan Pai on that wicket could be at your neck every ball. And Vinubhai, they were, within no time they were 3 for 3. And Vinubhai came into bat and he played 7 overs from Narayan Pai at one end without taking a single run. 8th over, first ball, he edged it over the slips. And in sheer motion of the match, he took a single. In the remaining 7 balls, they were all out.
That is what Sehwag did the other day.
He was a king, that's why I just can't believe anybody can play cricket better than Vinubhai. I just cannot believe it.
That is one of the greatest tributes you have paid to him.
Champion. I'm nobody to pay a tribute to him, but I'm just giving you the feeling that I have for him.
Also, but the romance of club cricket is dying. Don't you think so? It's going
Club cricket, I remember, those days, all the secretaries at the end of the season used to come at the Cricket Club of India to collect the fixtures for the entire season. Now forget the secretaries, there are no papers there to write down the fixtures.
They only go for the passes.
No, cricket has changed and changed for bad, I think. I'm feeling sorry, this IPL is good to people who have nothing else to do. But it has nothing to do with cricket if you ask me.
But Vasu, that is...
No, I'm putting it probably a bit too bluntly, but I cannot enjoy this kind of... Everybody is hitting a 6 here.
Exactly.
And when you want to hit a 6, they can't.
No, but Vasu, 2 questions to you.
Yep.
That IPL has become a showcase of Indian cricket now. And Ranji and Dulip, they have gone into go down. It's worst for our cricket.
I think IPL will have the pleasure of killing this game within no time.
Absolutely.
No, I'm saying, putting it too bluntly, but I don't think cricket is meant to play that way. Cricket is not a game, it's a way of life here.
And sixes...
Ask Wasambe, he will vouch for it.
And sixes have become very, very easy now.
Sixes have become easy because boundaries are 60 yards. When you ask me that will Sehwag do the same to Vinubhai's bowling, he will do it because the boundary is 60 yards.
But Vasu, attitude has also changed. That you must give credit to the younger generation. The attitude has also changed.
This present Indian team is playing brilliant cricket, and because of their ability, they are highly confident and they approach a task to win, and they do it every single time. They have proved it in last 3-4 years. Their graph is right up there.
In fact, I think talking about the current Indian team, what strikes me, I think as a feature, 2 things really strike me. During our playing era, number 9, 10, 11, 9, 10 Jack as they used to be called, they sincerely believed that batting was not their task at all. And they were not to be blamed, and they had no interest in staying there. I think the game has changed to that extent now that every one of them has to contribute at one. Secondly, I think one of the features that strikes me about our World Cup win this time, in spite of your 2 best batsmen being out for 15 or 20, the team did not lose heart. And they came back and fought and won. I think this is a change for
This is the change in Indian cricket. You know, we are attacking now. We are attacking to win. That's the greatest thing, and that's what I like them for.
Yeah, but how this generation is different from the older generation in confidence, in exposure,
No, I think it is obviously confidence, but it has come out of what? Probably proper selection, and they have retained the youngsters in spite of some of the failures which have looked borderline cases. They have held them back and given them life, and they have used the string well.
Vasu, exposure is also most important thing. In those days,
But you will get exposure only if you are good enough, Papu. It goes both ways. You know, when you make a wrong selection, it's a knife which cuts two ways. You are taking a wrong man and leaving the right man out. So it's a double-edged weapon.
But in those days, you had English tour once in 10 years or once in 6 years.
Now the international program is fixed for 5 years, so you know exactly what's coming.
So that is why this confidence has grown among the younger cricketers.
Very obviously, you know, they are highly confident and they are very positive players now. You know, there is hardly anybody who goes out and defends.
Exactly, aggressiveness, which was not there, and fielding.
Fielding, you know, has turned its face completely. Previously, in those days, you know, first slip and second slip, what looked at each other for a sneak.
Nobody ran.
Nobody ran. Somebody gave the ball from the boundary line. That's another thing.
Like Vasu is afraid that this IPL will kill cricket completely, because the way IPL is played is not cricket; it's something else for him. But
no, I don't think that's. I may be wrong, but this is what my opinion is. That cricket is. Have you seen any one player who has improved over IPL season? Give me one name who has improved over the 14-15 matches that he plays. At the 14th match, he looked a better player to you?
You said that cricket is changing. Cricket is not a game, it's a way of life. But we should remember that way of life also changes.
Yes, of
so
course.
cricket has changed.
Ultimately, you are an animal to the society you are born in. You can't lead a one way all your life. No way.
But game has become very, very aggressive. In a day
we are playing aggressively because we are good enough. Today, I still feel that if we had Murali Karthik in this team, we would have won all the other games a lot more easily. When you are struggling to find a left-arm spinner and Yuvraj became a spinner when he was in the Indian academy, we hardly gave him the ball to bowl.
Yeah.
And today is your highest wicket taker. What does it mean? That the opponents are weak or he has improved?
No, on Indian tracks he definitely was successful. He may not be successful again in Australia or in other.
Millions of people enjoy. Can that be killed?
No, I hope, Papan, you are right and I'm wrong, but I will not be watching it for long.
And it could become T10 now.
Hey, Papan, I don't think that's cricket. You know, cricket is something else you can't explain. You have to play it to believe it.
Papa, you made a point about Mumbai's club cricket.
Yeah.
Whether it is going down or
it's
going
dying.
It's not there.
I think one of the factors that strikes me is, in the olden days, all the India cricketers who were in Bombay were seen at the Maidan playing cricket, be it Kanga League, be it Purushottam Shield. As a result, they became kind of a nucleus, and players playing around were obviously influenced in terms of playing the game better and so on. Sadly today, and it's no fault of our cricketers, but the present program just does not allow them to be on the ground, that is one. Secondly, given also the security factors and also the publicity, Vijay Merchant was God in his days. Vinu Mankad was God, so was Dattu Fatkar. And yet, the adulation did not go beyond a certain... Yeah. Unfortunately today, I don't think even if poor Sachin, even if he wants to come and play Maidan cricket,
Not possible,
it's just not going to be possible. So one has to accept that we are... But in turn then, in my eyes, the game of cricket in the city, I think has to an extent been affected by this. That's what I feel.
Definitely.
No doubt about it.
Vasu, last two questions. You have seen cricket of different eras. So I want your all-time great Indian team.
Unfortunately, Rajbhai is not here, otherwise we would have drawn it in 5 minutes.
No, you can. Start from openers.
I think, could we have this after dinner?
No.
No, because you'll have to.
You mean after drink?
No, you can. Vasu, for you, just it is thinking within no time. You can just tell. Openers, you go for.
Sunny
Yes.
and Vijay Merchant.
Yes. Number 3.
Number 3, we always had a problem there. But to solve all the problems in Indian cricket that is being done, I'll put Sachin there.
At number 3
Yeah,
instead of 4. Yes.
And
Okay.
I still feel, it was I always thought that Sachin should have played number 3 all his life. And he should have bowled more leg breaks in the nets.
Yeah.
And he should have led the team. Refusing a captaincy is for me something that is just not done. You're a general and suddenly you want to become a sepoy. That's not. That's not.
So number 3.
Vijay Hazare.
Yes. Vishwanath.
No.
Dravid.
Huh?
Dravid. Vishwanath. Yeah. Hazare. Hazare we have picked. No, we are going step by step.
No, Papan, you may not be knowing, but Vijay Hazare took 295 Ranji Trophy wickets. Huh? People don't even ever mention his name. And he also bowled round arm.
Number 5.
नाही आता खाल्लं आहे पप्पू सुभाष गुप्ते 11
Yeah.
प्रसन्ना 10
Yes.
नरेन तामाणे तिथे 8 विकेट टू कीप विकेट्स
Yes.
Kirmani?
नो किरमाणी इन कर्नाटका टीम
Akara, Daha, yes, and 9 you said.
नाही का सॉरी कपिल 6-7 कपिल
Yeah.
अँड आता लक्षात नाही येत आहे
Kapil, Vinu Bhai. You have missed Vinu Bhai.
Vinu bhai will always be there.
Yeah. So Vinu Bhai, Kapil. Then another fast bowler with Kapil. Ramakant. Nisar. Whosoever with Nisar you might not have seen.
We had taken Ramakant, that.
Yeah.
Now I don't remember that.
Post-war cricket, Ramakant would be.
Yeah. And wicket keeper Naren Damhane, you said.
Subha,
Prasanna,
and
Vinu. Yeah. And probably one more batsman at number.
No, you don't get a place now.
4.
If 6 batsmen don't deliver the goods, then 7 will not.
So you believe in 5 batsmen, 5 bowlers, not unlike our team.
Our team is unnecessarily playing defensively. The way they are batting, they can take one more batsman and leave one bowler out here. What will be the difference, Papu? Suppose if you take a batsman and drop a bowler, what will be the difference? That batsman will bowl and he give probably 60 runs. So it will be about 20-25 more. Cover that in your field, no?
That is the most difficult.
We are fielding.
Yeah.
Papu, I have not seen the Indian team field better than in the first hour of the match against Sri Lanka. We are just superb.
Superb, yes, that day we are superb. Yes.
Papa, since we are talking about, I think that's the note on which perhaps we could end the
I was coming to that question only.
As it happens, Jolly Cricketers, we have 13 members who played for India.
Yeah. So now Jolly Cricketers came from you.
No, I won't remember offhand. It is that the only position where we couldn't, nobody was a wicket keeper, except I think Arvind used to keep wickets in his young days. So maybe he could fill in that position as a wicket keeper. But otherwise, yeah. But otherwise, Jolly Cricketers team could be, I think, a fairly balanced kind of team with Subhash Gupte there, Bapu Nadkarni there, Vinu Mankad there, Ramchand there, Eknath Solkar there, Yajuvendra Singh, Ashok Nankad. In fact,
Yeah, they picked up everybody from others.
no, he was a member.
Subhash Gupta was originally
Vasu, he was a Shivaji Park product, you can say.
Ram played regularly, Papan, for us.
Subhash Gupta is a Shivaji Park product.
Subhash Gupta played for Dadran first before going to Shivaji Park.
Maybe,
number 4.
I think one could get into this kind of discussion, but basically, we had 13.
Yeah.
Umesh Kulkarni is here. He could have been an opening
there.
bowler and so on. And I think about 25 or more who played Ranji Trophy, excluding the Test cricketers. So I think Jolly, in spite of being a nomadic club, had a reasonably good, sound cricketing talent as well, I would say. And that's where I think we should
Yeah, that's the right.
call stumps.
And I would request Kishore to come here.
Yeah, yeah, I think.
Yeah, Kishore. Kishore, for your vote of thanks.
Gentlemen, Madhav is now declaring the website of Legends Club open.
I declare the Legends Club website as open. Please use it as often as you can. Thank you.
Yeah, Madhav, I am President of the Legends Club. Distinguished members of the Legend Clubs and the Jolly Good Fellows from Jolly Cricketers. I consider this as an honor to propose a vote of thanks on this Platinum Jubilee year of Jolly Cricketers. It all started with Anandjibhai's letter, which we showed it to you, scribbling that he has given during the period that he was not keeping good health, and we visited him and talked to him, and it was very difficult to even hear him. And after this meeting, you will be happy to note that the great fighter and the lover of the game that he is, he revived his health and gave the interview in our second meeting. We are grateful to him for his contributions to the club. This Legends Club has got 3 legends in whose memories these functions are held. They are before you. I want to say that for Jolly Cricketers also there are 3 legends. One is Vasanbhai Raiji. He is our founder member and past president, mentor of the club, and a great captain and player. Then we have Anandjibhai himself. He can be called a legend in all his right. And thereafter, we have Madhav Apte, who has contributed tremendously to the growth of Jolly Cricketers. 55 years of continuously playing for the game, and out of that also many a times he has come all the way from Malaysia just to play Kanga League games. This is not done by everyone and everyone else. Therefore he is unique and we include him in the Legends members. Thank you, Madhav Bhai. Today's function would not have been possible without the presence of the legendary cricketers who are present here, as also the others and cricket lovers from all walks of life. We thank you all for being here with us. Jolly Cricketers are lucky today that Madhav himself has made this function possible along with Legends Club. And we thank Legends Club also for agreeing to allow us this function to be held. This function would not be possible without the ideas going into formation of this function, and for that we thank Gurunath Sanzgiri, Dwarkanath Sanzgiri, Sanil, his son, and his team, which is making this function a very memorable one. When we were at Anandjibhai's place for the interview, the last thing that he desired to say was that we are all jolly good fellows, and he wanted us to speak out those things. Okay, we are jolly good fellows, we are jolly good fellows, we are jolly good fellows, and so say all of us. And I think that this joint spirit shall prevail for another 25 years and on, and that will be what the achievement should be and our aim should be. Thank you very much, all of you, for being so patient throughout the presentation. I have a small formality to complete. We are making some mementos to be presented to our legendary cricketers. One is Vasanbhai Raji. I'll request Madhav to hand over one memento to Vasanbhai. It's here. Anil. We'll now request Anil Deshpande to hand over a memento to Madhav Apte. We will fail if we do not appreciate the efforts that Arvind Bhai has put in for our club. I'll request Anil again to hand over our memento to Arvind Apte. Yes. We have a memento for Dr. Gajendra Singh. He is not present today, but we'll hand it over to him at his residence. We have a memento for Anandji Bhai also, and since he is not here, and he will definitely desire a report of this meeting, and therefore we'll go to his house again and hand over a memento to him. One more memento we would like to give as per desire of Madhav Bhai also, and that is Anil. You will please give a memento to Kailas Gatani for his contributions to the club. With this, we end today's meeting, and we now all can join for the drinks and the dinner. Thank you very much.